Back in 2020, I redid my fireplace because didn't we all have a 2020 project? Well, I never did an in-depth video on it, so here you go. This is where I'm at right now. As I'm banging this to get it off, the cement board is not doing good. So I've never worked with a cement board before. Turns out that was not cement board now that I know a little bit more about DIY. I put all this in the box just to put it in there. I should have dumped it out little by little. Now this box is so heavy. I way underestimated the weight of the tile. So have you ever wondered what's behind a fireplace? This was my very first demo project and I was super nervous to get it started, but once I got this far, there was no turning back. Now this piece of MDF that's on the wall, it was on there really good, so I just decided to leave it because that'll give me something to attach the new mantle to. I got the demo mess cleaned up and I ran to Home Depot to actually get some cement board, which is normally what goes around fireplaces. It's a pain in the butt to work with, I'll tell you that much. You've got to use these special cement board screws too. I got all that installed and then we had to leave notes because it was 2020 and it was kind of fun to do. Then I started building a base for the hearth. I've never had a fireplace with a hearth before and I was dying to do this just for somewhere to sit whenever it's cold and the fire's going. I tested it out to make sure it's pretty sturdy and then I added some plywood to the top and then it was time to start working on the mantle. I 45 some edges of some common board so that way it'll all go together like a puzzle and then I roughed it up with a wire brush on the drill and then I got it put together. I would do this differently now. I put it together with just brad nails here and it seems to work. It's still holding up great. I got it stained, put some screws in because I was installing this on my own. So I pre-drilled those screws and then drilled it into that piece of MDF. And then here's how I make the edges kind of put together a little bit more. You just go over the edge with a screwdriver. And this is the backing I'm going to put on the fireplace. Now don't do what I did here. I was pretty new to DIY and that blade was out way too far and that's pretty dangerous and didn't cut very easily. But I did get it done without injury and it fit perfect. Then I got the other side cut and installed. I would do it differently if I did it again by cutting the bricks more like a puzzle, if you know what I mean. And then I almost forgot about the gas line, so I had to go back and cut that out. That created a huge mess, but it was time to clean up so I could work on the rest of it tomorrow. The wall pieces are attached with brad nails, and this part is attached with screws. Right now, it's kind of looking like one of those brick kid building block sets, but I'm gonna fix it, I promise. Of course, my cat, Ellie, has to always be the center of attention. The next day, I wood filled the edges of this, and then I went back and sanded it and stained it, and it is looking great. And it's actually looking more rich. Now this is why the screws at the bottom didn't bother me because I was going over it with joint compound. I was worried because it was kind of yellow, but it was drying really white. Right here it's looking scary, not exactly what I had envisioned, but I went back with water and some paper towels and removed some of it so the brick showed through more. Now here's what it looked like in the listing photo, and then I painted that beige tile, but then I remodeled it and this is what it's looking like. I really love it, but I do want to redo it again with putting actual stone. And another thing I would do differently next time is use actual mortar instead of joint compound because the joint compound stains and I feel like the mortar would hold up a little bit better. But this is what it is and I love it. What do you think? Have you ever demoed anything before?